Fun.
Mhm. Good.
All right, here we are. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Wisdom Wednesday.
Yeah.
Come on in, anyone who is going to be joining us this evening. My name is Reverend Evelyn, and this evening I have a beautiful guest, Netta Fei. And
Hello.
welcome. She is the publisher of the True
Society.
Self, yes,
Mhm.
publication on Substack. Thank you, John. Thank you, Oz. Oz Poetic. Wow, cool name.
Mhm.
Welcome in. And we're going to be talking about a lot of things this evening, but we are also, Netta is in the process of launching her book. And so we're going to talk a little bit about that. So I'm going to give it maybe a minute or two before we do our little breath work. There's Tracy, my sweet friend who shows up every time. Hey,
Mm.
Tracy. I
Hi,
actually know her.
everyone.
I actually know Tracy IRL.
I'm
Mahoney.
IRL. Okay. There's
Felicia,
Jaleesa.
welcome.
Mhm.
Yes.
We did a
Welcome. Come on
collab.
in, everybody. Get comfy.
Hi, everyone.
Welcome. All right. So I'll give it a minute and then we'll do a little bit of breath work and a little invocation and then we'll get started.
Mhm.
So, yeah. Ooh. All right. Okay. So let's get together. I am putting my feet flat on the floor just so to just ground myself. So I'm going to take a little bit of a breath. And another breath because I can. Mm. And so, welcome in, everyone. Welcome in. So, I'm going to do a little invocation. And so I breathe. And I breathe in the goodness of God, source, universe, creator, all there is.
Mhm.
Knowing that there is only one presence, there is one power, one love, one law, one spirit, one mind. And I welcome this one power to be with us this evening, to hover over this gathering and to inspire this conversation. I am grateful for the love and the presence of God, Spirit, by whatever name you call it, but at whatever name I call it, just to be here and inspire each of us. And I include in the circle of this prayer everyone, everywhere, knowing that each one of us is an individualized expression of the one. And I release this word into the perfect law, which always says yes. I
Mm.
allow it to be so, and so it is. Amen.
Hallelujah.
And there's Dina Rogers, and somebody else came in. Sensei. Oh, welcome. Come on
Sensei. Hi,
in. Randolph.
Sensei.
All righty now. Brittany, come on in.
Yes.
New Thought Media Network. Welcome. I don't know if you caught the invocation, but we just prayed in. And so here we are. After a little bit of a scheduling snafu, we are here. We
Yes.
are here.
We are here.
And yes, so I am so glad to have you on Wisdom Wednesday, Netta. And
Me
do you
too.
want to start? How do you want to start? Do you want to start with the book, or how do we want to?
It's totally up to you. We'll go with the flow.
Okay.
Thank you for having me, and thank you
Mm-hmm.
for being a part of this tour that I'm doing. As you mentioned, I am releasing to the world, transmitting to other people wisdoms and truths that my dad left in what I call the Book of Burnett.
Mm-hmm.
And it is 42 truths for living well, fully, and without regret that I remember from what my dad taught me and my two older brothers, but also some information he added and channeled through me. He's been gone 5 years
Mm-hmm.
this December, and I feel still connected to him. I connected to my mother, and commune with them often. Is I don't count it spooky or anything. It is a oneness that I share with the all that is, and it includes them.
Mm-hmm.
So he helped me write this and put it out to the world, not for him or not to glorify him, but to spare us for having to redo some of the mistakes he made, to not have to fall into any holes that he might already fallen in for us, to spare us again from issues of mistakes,
Hmm.
to be able to stand on his shoulders to get where we're going. He did that. I think many of our ancestors did that. People I talked to, they start to remember things that their parents or grandparents or great grandparents would say to them. And I encourage them to write it down because it's not for nothing. It's something that they experienced, they lived, they tried, they proved out so that we don't have to.
Right.
So let's not let it go for naught.
Can you so behind your head, is that a picture of him?
That is a picture of him.
Oh, there's a
um,
mic in front of his face.
Yeah,
Okay.
so my dad was a minister,
Yeah.
almost 50 years, and one of his favorite
Wow.
things, he did, I don't know how well you can see that.
Yeah, I can see it. Okay,
Yeah,
because 'cause I've
yeah,
been hearing you talk about this book, and I was like, "Gosh, I wonder what he looks like." And then you were on a live with somebody else, and I sort of saw it over your shoulder, so I'm glad
yeah.
I got to see. It's good to put a face with the wisdom.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, so when I
Yeah.
heard you talking about this book, because 'cause I've been on several you're sort of doing a whistle stop tour
A whistle
with the
stop
book,
tour, yeah, and I
and
love that virtual, we can do that,
yeah,
in an effective, way for
yep,
everybody.
yep,
So, yeah.
yeah, so, I was thinking about all of the wisdom and stuff that he had to offer, and, thinking of how fortunate you and your brothers are to have had, such a wise man as a dad, you know? I mean, I mean, I honestly could not I wouldn't be able to write a book with the things that my dad said.
Well, maybe you could.
So,
Hey, I think,
um,
Jackie just popped in to say hi.
yeah, just
Sh
checking to say, "Hi, I'm managing 2 lives to support." Yay! Well, thank you for
Hey,
popping
Jack.
in, Jackie.
Thanks
Thank
for
you so
talking.
much.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you.
yeah, um, yeah, but it's like,
You might
you know
could. It might be a different type of
right,
words,
right,
different type of message, a different type of learning,
exactly.
than mine, but
Because they come,
you
because
could.
dads, parents, people come in all different,
Yes,
um, incarnations, right?
yes.
My dad was not that font of wisdom, right? But, he was a loving man, and
Mm,
he towards the end of his life, he died quite young,
mm.
quite, shockingly. He just passed away in his sleep one night. Um,
Oh, sorry to hear that.
so, but before, which he didn't know was the end of his life, because 'cause I'm pretty sure he didn't know he was gonna that night that he wasn't gonna wake up in the morning, right?
Okay, yep, yep,
So,
yep.
he definitely, he had a near death experience, and so we all called it his come to Jesus moment, because he went to each one of us individually, this 4 of us, I'm one of 4,
Okay.
and just kinda said, "I know I wasn't a great parent. I know I was not a good dad." And he just sort of came clean, and he just apologized
My gosh.
for some of the things, for everything,
Okay,
whatever. He
yeah.
said, "I can't even imagine," and he just, apologized for all, and so for the
Uh,
last couple of years, which we didn't know were the last couple of years, that's another
mm,
thing, is that whatever your issues are with your parents, I believe very strongly, because like, it's very important, if you can, and I say if you can, and if it's safe for you to do
mhm,
so,
mhm.
resolve them.
Yes.
Resolve those issues, because, you were blessed with a wonderful, wise, loving dad. Not everybody gets that, right?
Yes, right.
Some people, it's like, be an example or be a cautionary tale, right?
Yes,
And
yes.
my dad, maybe we could file him under a cautionary tale. But one thing that I am so grateful for is that if there was any hatchets, they got buried before he made his surprise exit. And, so we never know. We never
Yeah.
know. um,
Yeah.
when our
But
time
think
is going to
about
come.
that. Think about the consciousness he had
Mhm.
to do that.
Mhm.
It had to come from, you said he's a loving person.
Mhm.
Love will usher you into those things.
Yeah.
It takes some maturity, right, to listen to that love, but he got to that place to come and resolve it. And it sounded like you didn't have to pull him, right? You didn't
Nope.
have to pull him that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's another good thing. He initiated or went and came. I mean, that's
Yeah.
big
I think there was a
in
part
my
of his
book.
spirit. I think there was a his spirit knew that his time was running out,
Okay.
and, I mean, I have, of course, no way of knowing this for sure, but
Yeah.
in the same way that if you don't leave a relationship in a healthy, proper way, it
Mhm.
will continue to affect the relationships that you have going forward, right? So
It
I
can,
think
yeah.
that the part of him, the part of his spirit, that sort of eternal part of him, knew he brought 4 human beings into this world. And if
Mhm.
he, as an eternal soul, right, if he
Right,
didn't
right.
clear the decks with those people, then, who he would carry that into his next, incarnation or whatever. So
Mhm.
again, who
Mhm.
knows? Who knows? That could be
Mhm.
all made up, but that's
Mhm.
sort of what I feel like, because it was just so profound, that he was able to do, and less than 5 years later, he was gone. So
Mm.
anyway,
It sounds profound, and
yeah.
it's a beautiful story, and possibly worth words either spoken like you just did,
Mhm.
audibly or written down.
Yeah.
There's something to that a lot of people should hear. I come across, people who are estranged
Mhm.
from family, and like you said, sometimes is necessary for
For your
safety,
safety. Yeah.
for peace, right? Safer body, safer mind, health of soul, your whole person sometimes is necessary. Sometimes it is stubbornness. People, wanting it their way, and if they can't have it their way, they cut you off. It's a different type of a thing.
Mhm.
Um, where I grew up, and some people will say often, I hear often, "You grew up under a rock. This not real life." But, we didn't see those experience, growing up, and it was a small community, rural community, the houses were similar in terms of mother, father, children,
Yep.
same church, so that energy was type of the same. Some of that I didn't see until I was an adult, that is not like this everywhere. And, I had some good learning,
Yep.
to go through in that, I love that. It was a beautiful upbringing and everything. It did, sew in some assumptions that I had to deal with or reckon with when I got an adult to say, "Oh, wait, oh, everybody doesn't know this.
Yep.
Every man isn't like this."
Not at
Nope.
all. Not at all.
Nope.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't
It's
know if there was
true.
a reason for my parents to say, "Not everybody's like this," because they didn't say that.
Mhm.
And, I don't know if they thought we wouldn't come across people with different backgrounds. I don't know, but they didn't talk about a lot of the gray area of
Mhm.
things, as wonderful as both my mom and dad were. They didn't talk a lot about the gray. They stuck with what they considered to be the black and white.
Well, I think I sort of I'm intuiting that they knew that when you grew up and you left the house and you went out into the world, that you would encounter enough of that in the world that they could just, that they wouldn't have to, expose you to that at home.
Yeah, maybe so, maybe so. But I think it's good, parents, if you do share as much as you know about things that may not look like your household, to help younger people prepare for those things.
Mhm.
With my children, I wanted to talk about everything. It was a different environment because they had more exposure to digital channels. They saw more of the world while they were in the house than
Mhm.
we did. Hi, TB.
Oh, but
Um,
welcome, TB. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, so, maybe it forced us to talk about things that
Hmm.
our parents didn't have to talk about because there was no internet like it is now. There's no digital, no social media that they had to explain. This is not what we do. So they just didn't. But I encourage parents to lovingly and age appropriately talk about everything.
Age appropriately, yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, absolutely.
Mhm.
Yeah, it seems to be a bit of a trend that people are going no contact um with their families, and you know, yeah, that's just my if I'm offering unsolicited advice, which I am,
Which we are.
that, if you can tighten it up
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
what is this?
Randolph has
Oh
some
my.
complaint.
Randolph, you're leaving us whole Substack posts here. My father was a cautionary tale for me. Okay. And as much as I didn't want to be that kind of abusive, neglectful father to my children, that neglect is what I gave to my children. For I
I
look
look
forward to the day when my estranged children and I can come together. Yeah. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. If that happens, it's a beautiful thing because yeah, I didn't speak to my dad for 5 years at one point. Um because of some of the shenanigans. Dina says many parents don't understand the gray. They don't know how to
mhm.
expose
Right.
it, so they stick to what they know. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely, Tina,
Yeah, so giving
absolutely.
parents grace, right?
Yeah.
Because I mean, I no one can say they're a perfect parent. I wasn't a perfect parent.
Mm,
Um I know that I parented my children in um response to how I was parented. So there was this constant rule dialogue going on, like, I when I have children, I'm never going to XYZ. So the pendulum can swing, right?
it
Maybe
can
the pendulum
swing
swings way too
too
far, and for
far.
me,
Yes.
it
Mhm.
swang, all the way the other way. Like I said,
Yes.
my children are never gonna wonder if I love them, right?
Yes.
They're
Yes.
never going to feel like, um, their being on this earth was a mistake. Do you know
Yes.
what I mean? And things
Yes.
like that because I was a very sensitive little child, and as one of four, I just sort of felt like, why did they keep having children? I mean, they clearly don't seem to be in a good mood about having so
Where did
yeah,
you fall? Where did you fall
I'm number
in the
2 of
sport?
4.
You number 2, okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
if there can be a middle child in 4 children, I was the middle because I was the biggest space of any of us is between me and my brother.
Mhm.
My brother's
Right,
next. So,
right,
um,
right, right.
yeah,
Yep. Yeah,
but
I think what you said about grace is a good thing
yeah,
because we're all people. We are subject to mistakes,
yes,
but
absolutely.
with a pure and a loving heart, hopefully we can build from those mistakes. Don't
Yeah,
keep making that mistake,
yeah,
and be uh, gather the maturity and boldness to go and correct the mistake as much as you can.
as much as you
Thinking
can.
about what Randolph was saying,
Mhm.
he can't decide for his children because those things are kind of there. If Randolph, you are comfortable still reaching out to them, they don't have to reach back because sometimes that can be enough for now. Knowing that you are reaching out, even if
Yeah.
they don't reach back.
And being a loving presence, right? Because you all, even if they are not in your life, you all are connected, right?
Yeah.
So you can reach out to them. They may not reach back, but as Netta said, just the act of you reaching out is like an olive branch, and it's
Yes.
hanging there, and they know that if they decide, oh, well, maybe it's time to talk to daddy again. They'll know it's okay because you've
It,
you've left that olive branch there,
right.
sort of
Right.
lingering in the air, right?
Right.
If you
Right.
don't reach out to them, then if they are grudge holders, as I have a master's degree in
You
grudge
have the
holding.
master's degree.
I have a master's degree in grudge holding. If that olive branch wasn't left there, I would just be like, oh well, I'll
Right.
contact him when he contacts me. You know,
Right. Right. And the
but
olive branch, the reaching out is not for them, it's for you. Right? Because
exactly.
you cannot feel or whatever for them. They have to feel whatever for them, and you respect that because that's how they
Mhm.
feel. But your reaching out is for you without expectation, any expectation that
Yeah.
they're gonna reach back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because kids can feel expectation. Everyone can feel
Yes.
expectation.
Yes, yes, yes,
So,
yes.
yeah.
Absolutely,
I love
absolutely.
that. Randolph says,
Yeah,
"Perfect advice on reaching out." Yes.
yep,
Yes.
yep, yep,
Yes, I am holding the space for your kids to surprise you one day, Randolph.
yes, yes. Be ready for it. Yeah, you can
Uh,
just be ready for that whenever
yeah.
it comes. TB said, "Leave the ball in their court, keep doing the work." Yeah,
Yeah.
get that monkey off your back.
I love it.
Another thing along this same line is that sometimes people want all or nothing,
Exactly.
right? In a relationship, they want the whole shebang or no relationship at all. But sometimes the 25th of the parent child relationship can be okay, can be enough. We don't have to be kumbaya and all that kind of
Mhm.
stuff, what Hollywood or the world might tell you it should be, just to connect on a 25% level can maybe be enough.
Mhm.
They
Yeah.
hold their truth, you hold your truth, you find where we can hold truth together, and maybe it's only 25%.
Mhm.
And
Exactly.
that can be good. That can be
Yes.
enough. Yeah.
Yeah, I think what you said, you just mentioned Hollywood in there, and to me that means, like, that stands for, like, the images that we see in media and stuff,
Yes.
which are written, it's fabricated, it's not really, true, right? So if you
Right.
are looking at your experience against the experience that you've seen in film and as TV says, programming, exactly,
Mhm, yes.
then it's gonna fall short because we are all fallible human beings.
Yes.
So if you
Yes.
can, as we said earlier, give them that grace that many of us, at least I can say for me, my parents were not ready to be parents. They were young adults.
Mhm.
They were young adults having babies.
Mhm.
They were unskilled. And
Mhm.
if you sort of put push everything away and just think about yourself when you were, in my parents' case, my mom was 20 when I was born.
Yeah.
That's a teenager. That's
Yeah.
a year after being a
That's young.
teenager.
Yeah.
Right? Your
It's
frontal
yeah.
lobe is not even fully developed.
Sure.
So if you sort of think about a couple of young teens
Sure. Sure.
messing around and oopsie,
Sure.
you
Yeah.
have to, don't have to. You get to, if you choose to, give them grace.
Yes.
And so that's something that, to
Yes.
my big age took a long time to
Yes.
realize. I have to extend them the grace I would love to receive
Yes. Yes.
and go from
And
there.
yeah, as you and Randolph said, each experience is an example of what to do or what not to do.
Right.
Neither is wasted
Exactly.
unless you allow it to be wasted. So you can look at them and say, yeah, they did this at young age. They did this. It was what it was. I'm going to choose something else. Just like you say you did with your children. Make
Mhm.
sure they knew you were there. They were loved. Whatever it is, we're going to be together and get through it, get through whatever it is. Yeah. It can be a
Exactly.
tale of what to do or what not to do.
Yeah,
Yep. TB,
absolutely.
TB is gone strong here tonight. She said they did the best with what they had mentally. Yes, because don't have a lot at 20 years old.
Yeah, exactly.
I was 19. She said a
Yes.
baby with a baby. I had to give
Yeah.
myself grace and mercy. Yes,
Yep.
absolutely.
Absolutely.
And you can't hold yourself in bondage to that. You cannot. You cannot hold that. But you know what? If where you are now, you might say, for me, it was a beneficial thing.
Mhm. Yep.
I in the year that I had my first child, I turned 40 and the child in February, the child was born in April. But for me, that timing worked really well.
Yep. Yep.
I could look back and say, maybe if I had been more like 30, 25, be different. But for me, it is in perfect timing.
Exactly. Yep.
So we can look at both of these and say, okay, I'm gonna take a little bit of that and do that, and I'm gonna take a little bit of this and not do that. Whatever it is, find the thing that works for you.
Mhm.
Yeah, make the best of it.
Absolutely.
Yes. CB said, thank God for growth.
Yep.
Yes, yes, yes. And the things that I remembered with transmitting this information from my
Mhm.
dad
Mhm.
wasn't a point of being mistake free. And he
Right.
would be the first one to raise his hand and say, "Yeah, I I made mistakes, but I did not repeat mistakes. And I learned from them and used them as stepping stones to where I wanted to go." His father was an alcoholic. And that was a cautionary tale for him. He knew that was not what he was going to do.
Yeah.
And he kind of took the reins of being the man of the house early because of that.
Mhm.
And, his dad did not live a long time either. So he stepped into that role um, out of necessity, but also out of responsible joy. I mean, that maybe just who he was. He took ownership of that. In that, like I said, he would make mistakes, but he would use it as stepping stones.
Mhm.
And the areas that he made the largest or the most felt mistakes in were the ones he taught us over and over again. Don't do this, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. Yeah, but TV said those L's I thought were losses were lessons. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. This journey is about experiences, not perfection.
Yeah.
Experience something, you say, "Okay, I want something different than that." Don't wanna
Absolutely.
experience that again. "Oh, but I do like that. I wanna experience that again." That starts to, bring clarity to what we co-create with spirit. I learned later, kind of my post-religious days, that we all are co-creators in this experience.
Mhm.
So things don't happen to us, they happen with us. And when we take responsibility for it, they can be a lot more intentional and be made with more consciousness than when we just, you know, fly by night and, oh, things are just happening to me. No,
Yeah.
they're happening with me. And I feel like that's one of the important things in the Book of Burnett, that
Mhm.
we can learn from this to co create with great intention who I want to be, how I want to show up, what I want to attract into my life, not as happenstance, but as with some intention.
Yeah.
One of the things my dad would say a lot: things don't just happen, they're made to happen. And I used to wonder about that a lot, especially when I was young. What does he mean? Things don't just happen, they're made to happen. And he was saying that what you put your thoughts and your mind to, those are the things you're going to start generating within your life.
Yeah.
Whatever you're saying you want to do, you can't sit down and think it's going to fall in your lap.
Absolutely.
You got to make some thoughts and actions and deeds toward that thing if that's what you want to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So you pray and you move your feet, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you don't pray and lean back in the recliner, right?
Yeah. And
So
say, "Okay, God,
yeah.
I'll wait for it."
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think God says, "Okay, sit there and wait, because waiting must be what you want."
Yeah.
Let's see what TV said. There's a difference in having intentions and being intentional. Yes.
Yeah. Being intentional is
Absolutely.
active.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Unfortunately, I run across a lot of people who resist that, or
Mhm.
who in effect have outsourced their life to other people.
Yep.
And maybe these people are well-meaning people, and sometimes these people are people who have nurtured that transference, right? They have said, "I'm the one that's going to give an account for you, so you do what I tell you to do." And some of it with love, some of it with innocence, but some of them with manipulation.
And some are trained, right? I mean, listen, I don't want to be always downing on religion, right? But it's a training ground for what you just said, for offloading our responsibility somewhere
Mhm.
else.
Mhm.
Um if you picture, God, source, creator as something outside of yourself,
Mhm.
then it sort of lets you off the hook in some regard
Sure.
because then you can just say, well, that must have been God's will, you
Mhm.
know,
Mhm.
where, to what I understand is that, God can only do for us what it can do through us,
Mhm.
right? That's from New Thought. Um,
Mhm.
so as rather than sitting around and looking outside of yourself up into the sky, right?
Yeah.
You can go within
Yeah.
and, because we create our reality, we create a reality through whatever is sort of the pervasive, whatever's going on in our subconscious mind. And what
Mhm.
goes into our subconscious mind, but everything that we are thinking about, reading, the people we're interacting with, all those vibes, is what then we create a reality from. And if
Mhm.
we're thinking, that something outside of us is going to, um, rescue us or save us, or, and we're sitting around like twiddling our thumbs going, okay, any day now.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
you
Yeah.
have to fill your cup to overflowing with what you would see in your life rather
Mhm.
than lamenting what you don't have.
Right, right. And learn to be comfortable taking ownership for it. I say
Mhm.
we are little g gods, little g goddesses. That
Absolutely.
means we take ownership of what we're creating. And I think you're right. Religion is a big area for outsourcing, but it can be many other things like
Mhm.
media. We
Yep.
outsource our thoughts to the media because that's also a training ground too. Just listen to the news, your favorite news person, and whatever they say or think, that's what you think, and you can't think higher than that because you outsource your thought to that person, or your friend group, or even some people, their children. They whatever their children want, that's their thought. They go toward that. Um, Maybe as a form of parenting or being friends or whatever they might see that is, they start to live through their children for
Mhm.
something. But I know when you do that, you are swayed by that person. In essence, they control you, you know.
Yep.
Yeah, and some people get comfortable with that because, as you said, they don't want the responsibility of
Yep.
doing it. If
Mhm.
if if they can do it for me, then I don't have to do it. And I sit back and just do, and it'll be their fault, their
Yeah.
responsibility, their blame, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Um, but they said if the one who controls you, they're gonna feed you or starve you. Yeah. But what I learned too in my journey that if I did a thing, like if I'm looking back my life, looking in a situation I in, and I look at how did I contribute to this? What was my role in this? What was I
Exactly.
thinking? All of those things, then I feel like if I did that thing, I can undo it or redo it.
Exactly.
But if somebody else did it, I have to wait for them to come and do it.
Yep. So again, that's
Yeah,
giving your power away.
give
Right.
your power
Absolutely.
away. Yeah. So our
Yep.
power is
Mhm.
immense, but that also comes with that responsibility, right?
Exactly.
Great power, great responsibility
Yep.
for you. You don't
Which
have
is
to
a
hold
good
it for
thing.
me. It's a
It's a
good
good thing.
thing.
It's a good
It's a
thing.
great thing. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
great thing. Yes, it is. So that was kind of the thing my dad lived out before us. He took responsibility. He didn't need cheerleaders. He didn't need a crew or whatever to run with him or to say amen to him. He was fine with when people complimented him or whatever, but he didn't need that. He kind of became his man. He loved people. He loved elevating people. He loved sharing whatever he had, especially words and the thing that was coming from him, sharing it with people who would listen. A lot of people did, a lot of people didn't. And one of the things he would always say, "Hey, if after I've done all I can, I'm shaking the dust from my feet. I'm moving on because
Yep.
I've done all I can do."
Yep.
And it's their life, so it's good they're good things, and 42 just happened to be the number we stopped on. After
Uh-huh.
I talked to my brothers and everything, we had many, many more. It just stopped at 42. So I'm getting with all of you wise numerology people and saying, okay, what is there significance to 42? It just stopped. Yeah,
Yeah.
even though I have more,
Yeah.
but we just stopped at
Yeah.
42.
Yeah. I bet he had a hand. I bet he had a hand in it.
I think
I
so.
know he had a hand in it. So yeah, that's
I think
beautiful.
so. I think
That's
so.
beautiful.
Yeah.
So what inspired this then? I mean, I understand that you like grew up and were sort of submerged in all of his wisdom and all that, but what sort of inspired you to one day say, you know what, this is going to be a book?
Um, it kinda came just on me as, my brothers and I would talk. Every time we would have a conversation, something that dad would say come up, and mom too, but he was a talker. She was a doer. He was a talker and a speaker and the minister, and, he loved doing that. From the couch to the pulpit to the meeting to whatever. He was a leader, like I said, he pastored for almost 50 years. He led a association of about 30 churches for 27 years. He was involved in this and this. He loved that type of a thing. So a lot of the talking and the words and the truths came from him. And every time I talked to my siblings, we say something that he would say. And when I talked to my children, I was started to say things that he would say. Nothing beats a failure but a try. That was a big one. I would tell my children, "Oh, mom, I'm thinking about this." Long as you calculated it, nothing beats a failure but a try, and you can always do something else. And I thought, "These are coming up a lot. Maybe I should write them down." So
Mm.
sometimes I talk to my brothers, I write them down when we finish talking, right? And then one day I was like, I've been collecting these things. What else do you remember?" And I sent them the list, and they started adding more and more and more and more to it.
Oh,
And
wow.
I thought, I think I wanna share these because also I began to live them in my adult life, and
Mhm.
they became truths for me, and I got clarity on what he meant from my experiences. Of what the different little sayings would pop up. "Oh, that's what he meant. That's what he was talking about. Oh, I see it that." So I started to live it too. And my brother had some of the same experience. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna start writing them down. And I did, but I'm thinking there should be some explanations behind these things. And some of them are borrowed, some of them he birthed. So that's when I started to say, "Dad, what did you mean by this? What were you thinking about when you would say this a lot?" And I started to remember a lot of the things, especially when we were young kids. He had just built a house. My Between my oldest brother and I, it's 5 years, and there's a brother between us. And so his money got real tight. And I remembered a lot of the stories she would tell about that period of time. So that whenever if I encountered something like that, I remembered, okay, the yellow hat, my mom's yellow hat. He told her we're gonna go to a moratorium on spending because we got to take care of these things. We're finding ourselves here. No more spending on anything. It's like, okay, that's what we're going to do. At that time, they would pay bills at the store, go to the store, pay the bill or whatever. So she goes to pay whatever bill they're going to pay. And she stops by this little boutique, and they had a pretty yellow hat that she liked. And she tried it on, took it off, tried it on, took it off. She reluctantly leave the store without the yellow hat. And she said she didn't tell him about it until after this moratorium period had passed, but she told me she never ever liked the yellow hat again. She didn't buy the yellow hat because she was honoring the agreement they had
Mhm.
made, but she said after that period, I never wanted a yellow hat, and she never had a yet. Out of the many, many, many hats she ended up having as first lady or whatever, none of them were yellow. But they would share that story to say, sometimes you have to do what you need to do for a
Exactly.
short period of time,
Yeah.
which is another truth about it. Do what you need. You can do what you need to do for a short period of time to get to where you want to go.
Sounds like
Mhm.
discipline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Discipline, vision, understanding, seeing what you need to do. So for us, what they left for us is some consciousness of not having to have it all now, to say
Love it.
no to some things, right? But a lot of ways to do that, you need the vision of where you wanna go. He didn't want them to be strapped in debt. He
Right.
didn't like how that felt. He didn't want that for his family. So, okay, for me to do my part, this is gonna be my part. I'm trusting God, I'm trusting spirit to lead me, to guide me, to make this differently, but this is something I know we can do, and this is what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we can do the same things
Mhm.
if we believing what we want, right? If we're but knowing what we want, believing what we want, align our actions to what we want. And sometimes that means don't buy that purse right now.
Yeah.
Do I need
Also, look.
another pair of earrings? No.
Yeah. So TB says the collective community is blessed to have you both. Oh, thank you, TB. That's very
Oh,
sweet.
thank
That is
you.
very sweet.
Yeah, I
Um,
feel blessed to be in this collective community.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's just been really, really cool, to get to know, a lot of
Yes.
the people
Yes.
on Substack and just,
Yeah.
creating just, and especially Black Stack. I just black
Black
for a
sa
second. Black what? Black Stack.
black sa
I know Jackie's probably
the
not still
black
here,
she probably
but,
not here, she's not listening to that.
yeah, she will attest. I joined Black Stack, um,
Oh, she said she's back.
she's back. Yeah. I joined, Substack, and then I kept seeing Jackie verbals, you know, coming through. If it started in Juneteenth, I think my I found Substack, like, in July of 24,
Mhm.
and then September was my first post. So sometime in that summer, I
Mm.
encountered her, and she used to do these salons on Sunday, like, I think it was the last Sunday of the month. And, I just remember joining the Zoom, and she had this, like, meditation that she would play, and then they were pouring libation,
Mm.
and we
What?
had a we were writing to a prompt. I was just like, "This is like church." So, really, because, a lot of people when they first join Substack, it's really difficult to get some traction going. I mean, for some people come in and they just hit the ground running. For
Yeah.
me, I needed you first met me through Karen. Okay, very good. Yeah, the writing circle. Um, so for me, it was a little bit of trying to gain momentum, and I made a vow to myself that I was going to give it a year.
Mm.
And so when I found Jackie and Blackstack, it was in the first like 90 days. So it was a little rough going, but Blackstack is what made me stay on Substack because
Mhm.
I thought
Mhm.
there's a little nexus of a little Black collective here,
Mhm.
and it was very supportive and loving
Yeah.
and nurturing. So yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
Blackstack. And then it's also responsible for a little bit of a boost in my publication because I had things published there. So,
Mhm.
um, it's just it's just amazing.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I've met Black Stack and Jackie through you, through the swim article you wrote.
Mhm.
Because I think we had connected on Instagram. I think I had reached out
I
to you on Instagram.
still I still keep getting, comments and likes from that, swim
Learning
article.
to swim
And,
some.
yeah, one of the sources that I quoted in there republished the article,
Mm.
reposted, uh, restacked the article.
Mhm.
They joined Substack and then restacked it. So now I'm getting a new round of,
Okay.
uh, exposure from that story.
That's
So,
awesome.
yeah.
Yeah, the community here that I found too is similar to that. I really
Mhm,
appreciate that. Um, just people that I reach out to, like you and others, and being part of Black Stack and Chronicles of Change and Jackie's thing. It's kind of hard to describe
mhm.
how warm it is and how it feels like you said, community. It feels
Yep,
like connected community that's
yeah,
not just virtual.
right.
It's
And
virtual, but
it's
it doesn't feel virtual.
exactly. And I feel like we are fortunate in getting in on a sweet spot.
It's
Ricky says, "Hey,
Rachel.
y'all. Happy
Hey.
to see everyone again. Love folks doing lives." Yes, yes.
Yes.
Glad to see you. I feel like a bunch of us got in a very sweet spot in Substack's growth,
Mm.
um, because we're able to sort of carve out a spot for ourselves and just really
Mhm.
grow and create community and all that. Because I've been posting on, um, I've been publishing YouTube videos, and that is like, it's another experience entirely. So, um, I just love coming back to Substack where it's kind of a little bit, it has the illusion to me of feeling a little bit more
Sure,
inclusive. And,
sure,
I have
sure.
people that I follow that I know IRL on LinkedIn who they're like, Substack, ew, you know, because they had, I guess sometime in 20, this is before I was on, sometime in 2023 into 2024, there was a unfortunate experience. I don't want to say the word, um,
Mm,
of
mm,
certain groups of extremists, let's just say that,
mm.
that were on there that were sort of harassing people. And she does DEI work. And so she was being harassed on Substack
Harassed.
by
Mm,
these extremists. And so um, I was posting links to my Substack articles there, and she was saying, I don't know, why on earth are you on Substack? Like, and I said, You appear to have had a completely different experience of Substack than me. I have
mhm,
never even seen a hint of what you're talking about.
mhm,
And it's because I'm a minister. I'm not doing, she's doing anti racism DEI work, which is out there, out in front, very confrontational, calling people to task
mm,
for, you know,
mhm.
so it's a different, her vibe is a little bit different. And also the timing
Sure,
was different. I think
sure.
that element was maybe filtered out
Mhm.
because I have not
Yeah.
seen one scrap or hint of any of it.
Yeah, I think too the filtering helps with what
Hmm.
you choose to see. But also, if you follow some of the people who are kind of on the front line with truth telling, like I had mentioned with the Don Lemon thing,
Hmm.
truth uh, kicks the dog so often. And the dog will yelp and yell and scratch and do all those things, and have that kind of comeback because
Yep.
that's the lies reaction, that's the false reaction to the truth,
Yep.
which is a whole nother topic, in and of itself.
Yeah.
That I think I mentioned it to you before. The truth does set you free. It
Yep.
doesn't mean it's not going to be without confrontation or,
Right.
yeah, any things that you might have to come up on, but it's going to stand and it's going to be the thing that stands up with you when everything else is gone, no matter what it looks like. So the people who are yelling and scratching and talking crap, about you, you sound like your daddy. Yeah. That my daddy is in the room.
Yeah. Channel, channel, channel that daddy
Channel, channel,
energy.
channel. Because his thing was stand for the truth, speak for the truth, speak, the truth is the thing that you have to stand on. It may not be comforting, which is why a lot of people lie,
Yep.
because they don't want to face the truth of a matter or whatever it might say. But it's going to be the one that's come out winning. So I think what you do is truth telling is in a gentler way.
Hmm.
And a lot of the people who are confrontational, they're not looking at elevating things. They're looking at fighting and fussing and, you know, just uh
Sowing
discord.
and sowing division.
Yeah,
Exactly.
division and
They're about
discord.
sowing division. And
Yeah.
yeah, I don't have, um it's funny when I very first started writing, I was very sort of timid. I mean, writing on Substack, I guess I should say, writing my publication, which is Sacred Creative Soul. And
Mhm.
I was very sort of, oh, well. And then I don't know what it was, but something said, if you're not going to say it now, when are you going to say it?
Yes.
And so I just sort of decided that I'm just going to speak the truth as I know it. Because I would put all these explainers like, this is
Mhm.
just my opinion. And so
Mhm.
I just said, you know what? I am right. I am a writer. Of course, it's my opinion. I don't have to say
Mhm.
that to sort of like diminish it. Do you know
Mhm.
what I mean?
Mhm.
So as soon as I stopped doing that, when I stopped holding back, when I
Mhm.
stopped being so concerned about um
How it's gonna
It's what how
fall.
it's gonna be received,
Yeah, how it's
right?
gonna
Because it's like
land.
there are people who need support, people who need encouragement, and, that's what I am here for. I am
Yes.
here to, to offer support and encouragement for those people who are looking for a different way of doing spirituality,
Yeah.
who are not looking, as we said earlier, to outsource their
Their lives.
wisdom, right? Their
Yes.
life.
Yeah, yes, absolutely, and it's not for everyone.
It's not for everyone, and I say that, but if it's for you, I'm here, right?
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
some people, there are some people for whom that's absolutely working. That whole religious thing, if that works for you, God bless you. Go in peace. I'm not talking to you,
Mhm.
right? I mean, I posted a note about something, and at the end it said something about spiritual liberation, which is sort of my thing.
Mhm.
And somebody replied, no, I made the comment on somebody else's note.
Mhm. Mhm.
And somebody replied to me saying, "Oh, there's no spiritual liberation outside of Jesus Christ." And I was like, "Oh," I ended up writing a whole post about it. I ended up writing a whole post about it, and I screenshotted it and I put it in.
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, sweetie pie," you know.
Mhm.
So yeah, I that's not my audience. I am
Yeah.
not.
Yeah, yeah, and you're not
If
trying to
it
pick
works,
that fight, right? Because that will go
I'm
on
not here.
forever. There's no end
There's no
to
end.
that type of discussion.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
I'm not here to debate chapter and verse, tit for tat. I'm not here for, because if
yeah,
you believe in that, good for you.
yeah.
Keep it.
Keep it.
I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think showing up in your truth is the best
It's the
position,
best.
period,
Yeah,
because you won't draw the person you're trying to reach if you're fake.
and the truth needs no defense, right? So
Right,
yeah,
and it sets you free,
yeah, absolutely.
right? Yeah.
Even if it's going to kick you in the butt, it will set you
Even if it
free.
kicks you in the butt, you be like turning their butt over, yeah, go ahead, because that's what I want. Because how long will the kicking last? Not long.
Exactly,
But the
exactly.
lies and the deceit and the pretending to be somebody else is like a noose around your neck. I hate to say it in Black
Yeah,
history, but that's
yeah,
what it's like.
exactly.
And even though people are uh, seemingly thriving from it, we can think about 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. It's not going to last. That thing is going to start blowing up. That's just kind of how it works.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
will. Yeah. We just
yeah,
have to give it the time. It
exactly.
will.
So
So I appreciate in our community, a lot of truth tellers are in the communities we have,
yes,
from all the different ones, Black Stack on around
hmm,
the truth. And it encourages me to be that me.
yeah,
To be that me. Because
to
I
be that
love
true
the
self.
way, yeah, to be that true self because I love the way others are being their true self. When
Yes,
Jackie writes those little 3-line things about how she's gonna show up in February.
yes, Jackie. I have my Sharpie. I have my Sharpie. You know what I'm talking about.
I gotta get kicked. She, Lamar, Margaret, so many of them,
Yeah.
just playing it real. You mean you're doing it real. It encourages me. I get
Yes.
tickles. It encourages me too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I love that. That's
Yeah.
all. Who has time for anything else?
Exactly. Exactly. Okay, so
Yeah.
Netta, as we sort of draw down on our time, how
Yes.
can people get their hands on the book? Um,
Yes. So this is the Book of Burnett. It's available anywhere you buy books. I will share a link with you,
mhm. So I can put
Reverend
it with
E,
this. Yeah, put
and
it
you
with
can
this
put
video.
it in with the
Mhm.
notes and yeah, everywhere you want to buy book. And I would love to get feedback from people to see how Dad's word might resonate with you guys. And I think I'm gonna encourage people to start writing their own,
Yeah.
you know. Uh
Yeah. You may have inspired me to write about my experience with my dad.
yeah,
Because, you know, um it was very profound and it had a huge impact in my life and yeah, so
yep,
thank you
yep,
for that.
yep. Yep. Rachel, I'm gonna send Reverend E the link to where I prefer you to buy the book because frankly, my link gives me more back to me, but wherever you want to buy it is fine. But I will send her the link to where
Yep.
my preference is. So thank you for
Yep.
asking the
Yeah.
question.
Keep an eye out for the post from this. What is today? Today is Wednesday. By Friday, it should be out. Um,
Ooh,
the the
cool.
video, the replay for
The
this.
replay. Awesome.
All
Thank you.
righty.
I appreciate you, Reverend Eve, for all that you do. I
Thank you.
appreciate
Thank
it.
you for
Yes.
being here. Thank you for everyone who is here. It's in her bio too, Rachel. Yeah, so there's a link in Netta's bio
Yes.
to
Okay.
get the book. So, um, but anyone who's watching this,
Yep.
you'll see the replay coming out on Friday. I did a live earlier, and that one is going out today. So I don't want to clog the feed with it.
Sure.
They'll just compete with each other. So I'll give it
Yes,
a
yes,
little
yes.
let it
Sure.
breathe.
Sure, sure, sure.
So all right. So thank
Thank
you
you so
everyone for
much.
being here.
Yes,
Thank
thank
you. This was a wonderful
everyone. Have a great
conversation.
night. Yes. Love
All
y'all.
right. Take care.
Bye.
Bye bye.